Hello, everybody. So I just thought I'd have you join me today. I'll be restocking some of the medicines that I make that have been selling out quite a bit lately, which I'm so grateful for. So I thought I'd bring you in my little shop today and show you what I'm restocking. So first up is going to be Shroom Boost. This is a blend of 3 different wild mushrooms, wild medicinal mushrooms. And so this first up is starting with turkey tail. All of these are wild, harvested, and dried by me. So the quality is pretty much the best that you can get harvested in the woods all around my home. So first up, we have turkey tail. I already added a little bit to the jar. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit more here. This extract is one of my best sellers and one of my favorites for a good reason. Medicinal mushrooms are so beneficial for a wide range of different health issues, for immunity, heart health, brain health, gut health. The list really goes on, especially when you have a blend of them. So first up, we got the turkey tail mushroom. Next up is lion's mane mushroom. You probably have heard about this or seen it. Recently, mushrooms have gotten quite popular these days for good reason, right? Because they're so beneficial. So here we go. We have lion's mane mushroom. We'll go ahead and add some of these. The thing about mushrooms when you're making medicines with them is they're really dense. So typically, if you've seen me make a tincture before, where I'll fill the jar all the way, we don't need to do that because the mushrooms are really dense and have that kind of harder texture. So I'm going to fill this jar about halfway. So we're almost there. We have the turkey tail and the lion's mane. And then the last one, I have to say this one is my favorite. Probably favorite to forage because it's so pretty. It's like nice, bright red and yellow and orange when it's in full fruiting, when it's fully fruiting, when you find it on the trees. So it doesn't look like that right now, but if you want, go look at some pictures of reishi mushrooms and you'll understand what I mean. So these are also wild, crafted, and dried reishi mushrooms. So like I said, we're going to go about halfway. Typically, they say halfway for the jar. I always add a little bit more just for a little extra love, but I don't think I really need to do that, but I do that anyways. Like to go a little extra. So there we go. Our jar is about a little bit more than halfway full. So for mushrooms, what I do is I do a dual extraction. So this part is part 1. So it's the alcohol extraction. So this is 100 proof alcohol. What I do, a lot of people will use vodka. So they'll do, like 80 to 100 proof vodka. What I do, so you're not just buying water, is I buy Everclear, which is 95% alcohol. I dilute it by half, and there you go. It's like you're buying vodka, except you didn't buy half water. So there's a little trick if you're making your own medicine. So here we go. We're gonna pour this over our mushroom combo. Once again, if you didn't see the beginning, we've got turkey tail, lion's mane, and reishi mushrooms here. So there we go. This is medicine number 1. This is going to sit for 6 weeks and infuse and allow all the alcohol to pull out the medicinal properties of the mushrooms. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to do a part 2 of the dual extraction, which is called the decoction, or essentially you're boiling the mushrooms. So we'll be getting the water-soluble properties out with the second part, and then, like I said, the alcohol extract part for this one. So there we go. We got the Shroom Boost there. Let's see. Next up, I already have this one measured out, so we don't go too crazy long in this video. This is another one of my best sellers. It's called, I named it Sweet Dreams Extract, but it's a blend of valerian roots, passion flowers, and catnip grown in my garden. So this actually was designed for my husband because he's very hyper and has a lot of energy and didn't really want to take prescription medicine to sleep anymore. So I thought, you know what, I gotta make him something. And I'm happy to say that it works really well for him. He doesn't take prescription medicine anymore. And actually, this is so potent that you have to be a little careful that you don't take too much because it can be kind of strong. So let's go ahead. We're essentially going to do the same thing that we did with the first one, the Shroom Boost. So this is another thing of 100 proof vodka. Here we go. We're just going to pour this over. And this one, I'm not doing a dual extract for. This is just simply a tincture, an alcohol extract. So this will also sit for 6 weeks. But then after the 6 weeks, it'll be ready to go. So I do have some people on the waiting list for this one. So if you'd like to pre-order it, or if you'd like me to save one for you in the next batch, let me know and I'll put your name down so you don't miss it. All right. So we've got Shroom Boost, we've got Sweet Dreams, and let's go ahead and do our last one. This is another one of my best sellers, and that is my elderberry turkey tail immunity elixir. So once again, we're going to bust out my wild harvested turkey tail mushrooms. I'm actually getting low on these, so once the weather gets a little warmer, I need to get back out in the woods and find more of these. Okay, so here we go. Got our clean jar right here. And elderberries. And then, okay, so this is what I have left of the elderberries I harvested. What I did is I harvested a bunch. I actually froze them, so I really like to freeze the elderberries before you use them because it helps break down like the cellular structure. It makes the medicine more accessible, but it also makes it a heck of a lot easier to get the berries off the stem. So if you've ever used elderberries before, you know that it's a pain to separate the stems from the berries. So freezing them and then kind of like hitting them off in the bowl once they're frozen was really helpful. So here we go. We've got dehydrated elderberries here. So this one's going to be similar to the Shroom Boost. I'll pull this back in the screen. So this one is also a dual extract tincture. So we have the one part is alcohol extraction. Second part is the hot water extraction. Or the fancy term is a decoction. But, you know, sometimes it's easier to have simpler terms so you can understand it a little bit better. All right, so here we go. Same thing. I typically use a funnel, but, you know, I like to be unprepared for videos sometimes, I guess. But, okay, so here we go. We got the turkey tail. This one is amazing for gut health and immunity. So if your gut is imbalanced and you have a lot of digestion issues, most likely you're going to have a hard time fighting things off and maybe more susceptible to getting sick or having other kind of chronic issues. So that's one thing that mushrooms and herbs are really great for is preventative medicine. We don't always want to just treat a symptom, but using these as preventative medicine to build up your body's natural defenses to fight things off as they kind of come at you. That's really where the secret is. All right, so turkey tail mushrooms here. Let's go ahead and add in our elderberries. This one is another one. Since these are dehydrated, these are both dried, you typically don't need as much as if you were using fresh, just because, you know, you already have the water content in the fresh herbs and mushrooms. So, all right, so once again, this is about halfway full. And, well, you know what? Let's add a little bit more. I always go in excess. Just, I don't know why. I just have a thing. I always add a little bit more than probably is necessary. Okay, so turkey tail and elderberry. Once again, we have 100 proof alcohol, 100 proof vodka. We will cover this. This is one of my favorites to make, and I'll show you why in a second. And this is why, because it immediately... Well, wait, let's get the light to hit it. It immediately turns this beautiful purple color. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, I love it. So there we go. I got 3 medicines in the works. Now the real magic happens over this next 6 weeks while these all infuse. So I like to keep these in a cool-ish, dark place. Like I said, for 6 weeks. Some people let their tinctures sit longer, maybe 8 weeks. I don't think it's quite that necessary to go that long. But hey, you do you if you need to do that. So what I'll do after the 6 weeks, I'll come back and I'll make the part 2 extract of the Shroom Boost, and then the elderberry turkey tail elixir, and then the Sweet Dreams will be ready to take as is once that's done. So let's see. What can you recommend? Hey, Carrie, what can you recommend for lymphatic function? That's a good question. There's a lot of herbs for that. One of the easiest things is to move. So whether it be walking, running, yoga, using a rebounder, which is like a little trampoline, that's really good. So just like the physical movement. If you don't feel like movement too much, you can use a dry brush. So they sell these. You could probably just get one at Walmart or Amazon or something. But it's literally a dry brush where you physically brush your skin, and that helps physically move the lymph. But you can also use a couple different herbs. Chickweed is a really good herb. Cleavers is a really good lymph moving herb. Dandelion root's really good. I have a digest and detox tincture. Let me see. Let me grab one for you. So this I make with 4 different roots. This one's a really good lymph mover. This one you take internally. And then along with the dry brushing, you can also use a body oil. So just a basic, olive or avocado oil you can use topically, and rub in long strokes toward your heart. So on the legs, on the belly, on the arms. If you want to use something to specifically move lymph, I have this Lymph Love body oil that is made with violets and dandelion and a couple of other things that just kind of help move everything along. So there's a couple recommendations. Oh, and just like sweating, like just basic movement and, getting things flowing is the best thing for lymph. So, all right. Well, I'm going to hop off here. I just wanted to show you guys what I'm up to in my little apothecary today. I guess my little medicine room. That's what I'm calling it these days. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I just made, let me know. I love sharing everything that I'm doing, and I love to be able to help people if I can. And if it's something that you maybe don't want to learn yourself, or maybe you just don't have access to some of this stuff, let me know and I'll send you the links for everything that I make. I harvest most things out here in the woods. Some people gift me some things that they have growing. Sometimes I get some things from friends, but mostly I try to either grow the stuff in my garden or find it wild growing out in the woods. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a beautiful day. Bye.